Did LaTisha Scott just confirm that Love and Marriage, Huntsville, is getting canceled? Fans are in shock after her latest bombshell revelation, and the internet is buzzing with speculation. What really led to this shocking turn of events? Was it behind-the-scenes drama, falling ratings, or a cast shakeup that producers didn't anticipate? More importantly, what does this mean for the future of the show and its stars? Stay tuned, because in this video, we're uncovering all the jaw-dropping details about the possible cancellation of LAMH straight from LaTisha herself. Trust me, this story has more twists and turns than you think. If you've been following Love and Marriage, Huntsville, you know that drama is nothing new. But this time, it's bigger than ever. LaTisha Scott just dropped a game-changing revelation that has fans and insiders questioning the show's future. Could this really be the end of LAMH as we know it? Rumors have been swirling for weeks about contract disputes, behind-the-scenes tension, and even declining ratings. LaTisha Scott spoke out and confirmed what many had feared. Something big is happening, and it might not be good news for the cast or the fans. So, what exactly did LaTisha say, and what led to this shocking moment? Is OWN really pulling the plug on one of its most successful reality shows? We've got all the receipts, exclusive details, and behind-the-scenes gossip you won't hear anywhere else. Stay locked in, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything about the fate of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, and what this means for the stars of the show. Let's get into it. LaTisha Scott is no stranger to drama, but this time, she's at the center of a controversy that has left Love and Marriage, Huntsville fans completely stunned. In a recent interview, LaTisha made some eye-opening comments that immediately set the internet on fire. So, what exactly did she say during this candid conversation? Whether intentional or not, LaTisha hinted that LAMH might not be around for much longer. She spoke about the challenges the cast has faced, the growing tensions behind the scenes, and, most shockingly, suggested that the future of the show is uncertain. She didn't directly say the word cancellation, but what she did say was enough to send fans into a frenzy. Her exact words were, "Y'all don't even know half of what goes on behind the scenes. It's a lot, and at this point, I don't even know where things are headed anymore." Wait, what? For a main cast member to publicly question the future of the show is a big deal. Reality stars typically avoid talking about cancellations because contracts are tight, and networks don't want anything leaked before they're ready to make an official announcement. The fact that LaTisha even brought this up at all is telling. Was she warning fans about an inevitable end, or was she sending a message to OWN and the producers? Immediately after her comments went viral, fans rushed to social media to react. Some believed she was being dramatic to hype up the next season, while others were genuinely concerned that OWN was getting ready to pull the plug. But here's where things get even more interesting. Carlos King, the show's creator, has been noticeably silent whenever cancellation rumors pop up. Networks usually shut these rumors down quickly to avoid panic, but this time, it's been radio silence, no statements, no tweets, no damage control. That lack of response has only fueled more speculation that there might be some truth to LaTisha's words. And trust me, there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye. When we dig deeper into the show's ratings and behind-the-scenes drama, it becomes clear that Love and Marriage, Huntsville, might be in serious trouble. But before we get into that, let's talk about why fans think the show has been struggling and whether OWN is ready to move on. Stay with me. This is where things get juicy. Now that LaTisha has put the show's future into question, fans are asking the big question, is Love and Marriage, Huntsville, really in danger of cancellation? While some viewers believe her words were just misinterpreted, others say there are clear signs that something is going on behind the scenes. Trust me, when you start connecting the dots, the bigger picture is hard to ignore. Let's break it all down. Declining ratings are the biggest red flag. One of the most obvious signs that a show might be in trouble is falling ratings, and let's just say LAMH is not pulling in the numbers it once did. In its earlier seasons, the show was a ratings powerhouse for OWN, bringing in solid viewership and quickly becoming one of the network's most talked about reality series. But fast forward to the most recent seasons, and the numbers tell a different story. While the show still has a loyal fan base, reports suggest that LAMH has struggled to maintain its peak viewership. Here's where it gets interesting. OWN has a history of pulling the plug on reality shows when they stop delivering. Remember the Book of John Gray? What about Love and Marriage? Huntsville? Both were fan favorites, but as soon as their ratings started slipping, OWN wasted no time cutting them loose. When you compare LH to its early seasons, the decline is real. Fans have noticed fewer episodes trending on social media, and some episodes have reportedly dropped below the viewership thresholds that OWN considers safe for renewal. Could the network be preparing to cut its losses and move on? Another huge factor that could be putting LH at risk is the ongoing drama between the cast. Now, let's be clear, drama is what makes reality TV thrive, but there's a difference between entertaining drama and toxic, exhausting drama. Unfortunately, LH may have crossed that line. Between explosive arguments, social media beefs, and off-screen conflicts spilling into real life, many fans have started complaining that the show has become too messy, and not in a good way. Here are just a few of the biggest cast issues in recent seasons. The never-ending feud between Melody Holt and Martell Holt, which has dominated the show's storylines for seasons, and the accusations of infidelity. Shady business deals and personal betrayals have blurred the lines between entertainment and real-life chaos. LaTisha and Marceau's ongoing marriage struggles have been dragged into the spotlight again. Instead of fresh and compelling storytelling, many viewers feel like the show is stuck in a repetitive cycle of the same arguments, the same conflicts, and the same messy relationships. Even some of the cast members seem exhausted by it all. There have been whispers that some stars, especially Melody Holt and LaTisha Scott, are growing frustrated with the way the show portrays their personal lives. If the people driving the drama are getting tired of it, then it might be a sign the show is running out of steam. And let's not forget, OWN needs their reality stars to be willing participants. If more cast members start pulling back, the show might lose the chemistry that made it such a hit in the first place. Now, let's talk about the silence from OWN. No confirmation, no denial. Normally, when a show isn't in danger of cancellation, the network is quick to reassure fans. But in this case, OWN has said nothing. Despite the buzz online and the countless questions from fans, the network has not addressed the rumors. Even Carlos King, the mastermind behind Love and Marriage, Huntsville, has stayed quiet, which is unusual for him. Carlos is known for hyping up the show, defending the cast, and shutting down misinformation. So why isn't he saying anything now? There are a few possibilities. Maybe OWN is still deciding and doesn't want to confirm or deny anything too soon. Perhaps they're negotiating with the cast behind closed doors to see if they can save the show. Or maybe LaTisha said something she wasn't supposed to, and now they're scrambling to do damage control. Here's what we do know. In the past, when OWN has canceled shows, the cast members were usually the last to know, and sometimes they didn't even get a warning. If history repeats itself, the future of LH might be uncertain. The silence from the network could mean that decisions are already being made behind the scenes. So, what does all this mean? When you put all these factors together, it paints a pretty concerning picture for Love and Marriage. Huntsville, declining ratings, an exhausted cast, and repetitive storylines. Network silence? Check. All the warning signs are there. But does this mean LH is definitely getting canceled? Not necessarily. Up next, we're going to break down what could actually save the show and why OWN might not be ready to let go just yet. Stick around, because this next part will change everything. With all the signs pointing toward potential cancellation, many fans are wondering, is there any hope left for Love and Marriage? Huntsville? Could the show still be saved? Or is it too late? While the future of the series remains uncertain, there are a few factors that could determine whether OWN decides to keep it on the air or let it go. In this section, we'll break down what could prevent cancellation, what OWN might do to revive interest, and whether the cast and fans can play a role in saving the show. Does the audience still care? One of the biggest reasons OWN might keep Love and Marriage, Huntsville around is if the fan base still shows strong support for the show. Love and Marriage, Huntsville is still alive thanks to its passionate fan base. Even though some viewers feel the show has become repetitive or toxic, there is still a dedicated audience that tunes in every week. Reality television thrives on viewer engagement, and if the network sees that fans are still talking about the show, engaging on social media, and demanding another season. That could be enough to convince them to keep it going. In the past, we've seen reality shows get a second chance due to strong fan reactions. For example, when The Real Housewives of New York struggled with ratings, Bravo restructured the cast and format instead of canceling it outright. OWN could take a similar approach with Love and Marriage, Huntsville, especially if enough viewers make it clear that they still want to watch. But here's the problem. Fan support alone isn't always enough. Networks also consider financial factors, and that leads us to the next big question. Is Love and Marriage, Huntsville, still profitable? At the end of the day, television is a business, and OWN will only keep LH if it makes financial sense. If the network is still making good money from advertising, sponsorships, and streaming deals, they may decide to continue the show, even if ratings have dipped. So, how does OWN make money from LH? The more people watch live, the more valuable commercial slots become. If LH is still attracting advertisers, OWN has an incentive to keep it on air. Many reality shows make money long after they air their original episodes. If LH performs well on streaming platforms, that could give it more staying power. Networks often keep a show going if they see an opportunity for spin-offs or special editions. If OWN believes certain cast members could carry their own shows, they might decide to extend LH just long enough to set that up. Ultimately, OWN will have to weigh the cost of production against the revenue it brings in. If the show is still profitable, the network might revamp it rather than cancel it completely. That brings us to the next major factor: whether OWN will make changes to the format to keep viewers engaged. Can the show be revamped? Love and Marriage, Huntsville needs a fresh start, and OWN has a few options to shake things up. Some reality shows avoid cancellation by restructuring the cast, changing the format, or introducing new storylines. Here's what OWN might do if they want to save LH ***, introduce new cast members ***. Adding fresh faces to the show could bring new energy and different storylines. If some of the original cast members are burned out, OWN might look for new couples with strong personalities to replace or complement them. Shift the focus of the show ***. If audiences are tired of the same conflicts, OWN could steer the show in a new direction. Instead of repeating the same fights and relationship issues, they might emphasize business success, family life, or new challenges the cast is facing. Reduce toxic drama ***. Some viewers feel that LH has become too negative. If OWN senses audiences are turning away due to repetitive or draining conflicts, they might push for a softer approach while keeping the show entertaining. Reality shows often experiment with different formats to keep things interesting, and Love and Marriage, Huntsville, could do the same. OWN could extend or shorten episodes, introduce documentary-style interviews, or include more behind-the-scenes footage to give viewers a fresh perspective. Networks are always looking for ways to extend the life of their hit shows, and if OWN believes LH can be saved with the right changes, they might be willing to give it one more shot. But there's one more factor that could determine the show's future: whether the cast is still willing to continue. While the decision to cancel or continue LH ultimately lies with OWN, the cast also plays a major role. If key members of the show want to leave, it could make it harder for the network to justify renewing it. Over the past few seasons, there have been rumors that certain cast members are unhappy with how they've been portrayed. Reality TV can be stressful, and when personal lives are constantly under scrutiny, some stars start feeling burned out. For example, Martell Holt has hinted multiple times that she is tired of the negativity and is ready to focus on other ventures. LaTisha Scott's recent comments suggest she might not feel as committed to the show's future as she once was. Some cast members have openly complained about how production edits their storylines, making them look worse than they really are. If one or more key stars decide to walk away, OWN will have to decide whether it's worth continuing the show without them or if it's time to end it on a high note. So, what's the verdict? Can LH be saved? At this point, the future of the show remains uncertain.